polling was out over the weekend, two different polling organizations, both finding that among likely voters, likely black voters in America, President Trump is polling at 34%. One poll, Rasmussen, said 34, the other one said 34.5. To be clear, this is a poll among actual likely voters, not just people who say they might vote or, generally speaking, the broad population, but actual voters, the people who matter. And I want to say this polling is already making the Democrat Party very, very nervous. They cannot win national elections without the black vote. I have a quick chart. I have a clip I sent to the wonderful producer, Matt. I want to just show you this one little graph or chart, and it's a little bit hard to see, so I'm just going to tell you what it says. But basically it runs from the left-hand side, 1992, through the right-hand side, 2014, and across the, up and down is a percentage. That what this is a study of the makeup of people who voted Democrat, the demographic makeup of Democrat voters. And it shows you that the Democrats have increasingly, since 1992, relied upon the Democrat vote in significant numbers. And very specifically, in 1992, of the total number of votes that the Democrats got, 1992, about 12% of their total vote was was among black voters in America. In 2014, the total of the Democrat votes received from the black community is up to almost 24%. Point being, and as you can see, the top line, well, it's not up there, so I'll just tell you, the top line is the non-black vote, the composition of black voters. The point of this being that the Democrat Party has increasingly relied upon black voters in this country to win. A shift of this magnitude, if it were to be accurate and to hold until the 2020 elections, would be profound in the national elections. I want to hit a couple of points about that. There was a lot of talk, and we've talked about in our show, the Candace Owens effect. This Candace Owens, young woman who founded the movement called Blexit, Black and Latina Exit from the Democrat Party. She's making the point in her speeches all over the country that she's asking her fellow black Americans specifically, what is it you think that voting Democrat has gotten for you in the last decades? For decades and decades, black America has largely gone with the Democrat Party. She's asking, ask yourself specifically. It's kind of a similar thing to the famous question, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Are you better off in any way? And she runs through all sorts of numbers and data, making the bottom line point. It is Democrat policies that the black voters hear the Democrats campaign on, but in reality, those policies do not help the black community in America. This is Candace Owens. She's making that argument. Other stellar longtime black conservatives in this country, Walter Williams, other economists have made these arguments. Larry Elder, a very famous conservative black pundit, have been making these arguments. But it does seem at this time that the arguments are beginning to resonate in the black community in America, at least among those informed and engaged enough to be considered likely voters. The other point I want to make about it is I think there will be a lot of people who are going to crassly claim that this shift, if it's accurate, is really just due to President Trump having signed criminal justice reform. That criminal justice reform was pushed by many black leaders in this country and did bring about a lot of support for the president as he pushed that through. But I think that shortchanges this shift, what I hope is a genuine shift in the voter base in the black community in America. Because it's not just criminal justice reform, although that is one area where President Trump has listened to the voices in the black community and made changes. But the bigger argument that is apparently going on with the bigger argument that's apparently going on and kind of beginning to resonate with the black community is, look at what Republican free market policies do. Not just look what President Trump did to bring jobs into the black community. Look what policies, free market policies do. policies that encourage businesses to come back to America, policies that reduce or eliminate unnecessary regulation out of Washington, which has been strangling the business community, policies that enable Black Americans both to find jobs and to be entrepreneurs. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but the Black entrepreneurship rate is way, way up under President Trump. This is not to be dismissed as simply pandering by President Trump, and okay, this time he's going to get more Black voters if this trend continues through 2020. It's a larger message that the policies President Trump has brought into being, the idea of encouraging government to cut back on regulation, cutting taxes, encouraging businesses to come back to America, actually employment-friendly to America policies are what has made our economy so strong, has made the Black unemployment rate the lowest in decades. I mean, they break a record almost every time the new numbers are announced. The Black unemployment rate, along with the women unemployment rate and Hispanic unemployment rate, continues to go down, meaning more and more Americans of every background are finding jobs. The bigger message of this polling is not just that President Trump, to wrap up my first five, it's not just that President Trump has done a great job, which he has, but that the policies that the conservatives, free market, encouraging of business and the growth of the business community, encouraging a strong entrepreneurial free market economy has actually brought blessings, income, jobs, and a sense of self-reliance and self-worth to more and more people in this country. This is what the message is of this polling and of the speaking by Candace Owens and other Black conservative leaders in this country, Thomas Sowell being another one. Many Black leaders speaking up, just saying, forget about personalities, forget about campaign slogans, forget about promises. Look at the results. Look at the results of what is happening. And the Democrats not helping themselves at all in this election cycle, and frankly for decades before this, as they continue to encourage illegal immigration, encourage people to come to America illegally, encourage those people to join the welfare rolls, join programs that are funded by your tax dollars, those people taking jobs away, especially entry-level jobs away from Americans. And this seems to be finally resonating in the Black community in America, realizing, why are we supporting the party who continues to bring people to this country illegally and allowing those people or enabling those people to work in this country, making it harder and harder for people who actually are citizens of this country to begin the process of joining this free market economy, joining the American dream. This is a great poll for America, for the future of America, because it's really about policies. And it is a very, very exciting polling right now. I mean, we're only in, November of 2019. We got elections a year away. But this is great and exciting polling. And it's very exciting, especially as we continue to tie it to the policies that are being explained and encouraged more and more by Black leaders who are speaking within their communities. And I want to give a special credit to Candace Owens. She's knocking it out of the park and making it very, very hard for the American left to argue that their policies are really helping people, when Candace Owens points out time after time after time after time that the Democrat policies have actually hurt Black America. And that, my friends, is today's First Five.